Women frequently have distinctive ways of expressing their desire to become closer to. You can be a little subtle at times, more apparent. Sometimes it feels like a puzzle, attempting to ascertain her thoughts. However, don't worry, there are hints if look no farther than today's video. We're dissecting the main indicators that she's bringing you closer on an emotional level and physiologically, from modest motions to audacious. These behaviors show her feelings and stay around for what she wants, and through to the conclusion, and I'll ensure that you don't ever overlook these indicators again. Number of signs. One of the people touches her face or neck. Most understated yet alluring ways a female might touch you to draw you in. Her neck or face when she's near you. This little sensitive motion frequently occurs subconsciously, but it's a warning. She is experiencing a combination of attraction and vulnerability, such as she might brush her fingertips during the talk, tuck her hair behind her cheek, gently trace her neck or her ear as she hears you. These gestures evoke your focus on her features in a gentle, attractive manner, in which she might also accomplish this when she has some anxiety or excitement, as putting your hand over these delicate spots can be calms her. But it also sends a quiet message of transparency. It's not about being clearly. The goal is to create a pleasant, a cozy atmosphere that begs you to pay attention to her in a more intimate and profound manner, to establish a connection through touch. Touch is a potent tool for establishing a stronger bond, and when a female desires to ask you to come closer, she could use it in, imagine this, in subtle yet significant ways. You're enjoying yourself, dialogue, and she carefully sets her hand on your arm while you chuckle at your joke. That little gesture isn't arbitrary. It's her method of overcoming the physical obstacle and giving the occasion a more intimate atmosphere. She might come into contact with an unseen speck to remove lint from your clothing, gently tap your shoulders in order to catch your eye, or even gently prod you when you're making a joke. These not all gestures are informal. They're intentional methods of expressing her feelings, feels at ease with you, and wishes to create the relationship between you is more organic. Not about big, clear-cut actions, but those small gestures that convey a sense of intimacy. I want you to feel the same way as I do. Keeping an eye out for these instances because they're frequently her method of letting you into her place herself. In the third slot in your line of sight, occasionally actions shout louder than your words and body language. She is clearly visible in your line of sight. How a female could attempt to approach. When you consider it, she doesn't want to be out of your line of sight. She wants to. For instance, are you certain you detect her presence? If she notices you at a party, and it's possible that she might casually find a place where you can see her, like standing close to your seat, or maybe passing you more than once, she might gently angle in a group setting herself to be directly in your line of sight, or discover a motive to be close to you, such as getting a drink from the identical table. These actions aren't arbitrary. They're considering small actions to draw your attention and let you know she's there. It's how she generates opportunities for communication and informing you she wants to interact with you. 4. Lean in when speaking. During a conversation, leaning in is a subtle yet obvious manner a girl could display. She's asking you both to become closer. Imagine this both emotionally and physically. You two are seated across from one another, and as the discussion becomes more, she begins to lean forward and engage, decreasing the distance between you by a little. This goes beyond simply improving your hearing. It's how she expresses her complete committed to your message and leaning to create a more intimate vibe. She's expressing her appreciation for the connection and desires a closer relationship with. For instance, at that same moment, she might rest by resting her elbows on the table, her chin resting on her hand as she gazed at you're giving her your whole attention. Paying attention is a sign that I'm present. I'm intrigued with you without, if you see her leaning in, use words. It's It's encouraging that she's attempting to bolster the connection between you two. 5. You can detect a difference in her posture. A lot based on how someone carries themselves, and if a girl modifies her self-posture around you, which is frequently her method of, for example, she's inviting you closer. Maybe pull her to sit up straighter, stand tall, or put your shoulders back while you're close by, abruptly displaying her self-assurance and presence as though you're seated opposite her. And as you begin, she straightens her back while speaking and leans forward a little to demonstrate that she's completely focused on you. It's not only about it's important to make sure you look decent, observe her in her prime, and establish an open, friendly vibe. Even with little adjustments, similar to crossing her legs toward you or raising her head in order to listen, can demonstrate her interest and desire to connect more deeply with these small. Her postural changes are a means of expressing. She wants you to pay attention to 6. Fidget with the same level of enthusiasm. Accessories. Using accessories to distract oneself may appear to be a little habit, but it can be a subtle method for a female to express her desire for to ask you to come closer, which could signify experimenting with the twisting of her necklace, placing a ring on her finger, or modifying her bracelet as she converses with you. For instance, supposing you're having a dialogue and she keeps a low profile at tracking the chain or her necklace as she hears you. These behaviors aren't merely anxious behaviors, which are frequently a means to highlight herself in a gentle fidgeting might also occur in an unsaid fashion, while she's experiencing any anxiety or thrill to be in your company, which indicates she is observing you and the way she's discovering it in her own modest manner. Of maintaining attention on the present and quietly expressing her interest, and laughed with you at number 7. Laughing at your jokes is a method to relationship, and when a girl chuckles at your jokes, particularly those that aren't they amusing, it's clear that she's urging you to consider it more closely, make a corny pun, and rather than she starts rolling her eyes and laughing, and jokingly remarks, "Oh my God, you're such amusing," that laughter isn't limited to the jokes, are her method of expressing how much she enjoys your business and wishes you well. Around her, despite the subtle comedy or foolish, her response indicates that she's attempting to establish a connection and an enjoyable and cozy environment between you. She's laughing as she says, "I adore being, I want this time to be spent with you." Feel unique and observe how the feeling of laughter is frequently warm, sincere, and intended to make you feel valued and self-assured. Number 8, tilt her body in your direction. You could observe that when a female is eager to get in touch with you, she'll incline her body in your direction, even if she doesn't speaking a word about this slight change in her. Her posture serves as a means of demonstrating her centered on you and willing to establish a stronger bond. For instance, she might turn her if they sat together, shoulders to fully face you, rather than maintaining an angled posture, or if you're in a crowd, and she might move a little closer and take a position herself so that she faces you directly. This is her, even when there are other people present. Non-verbal communication, indicating that you have "I'm here for this moment, so pay attention." It's a modest gesture with you, yet it demonstrates her interest and readiness to let you into her personal space. When an individual tilts their body in the direction of frequently because they wish to make, the conversation feels more intimate and significant now that you are aware of the warning indicators. She's asking you to come closer so you can to know when she's going to open the door. For a closer relationship, if you liked, remember to like and comment on this video. And sign up for further advice and insights. I'll see you in the upcoming video.